So once you've created your team, what you might want to think about is heading to the settings so we can make a few tweaks here. So on this three dot menu, just next to the team name, you have various things you can do here. If you want to rename the team or you want to change the icon on the top there, you can do that. There are a few ready-made ones. They're not great. You can upload one of your own if you've got an icon, or if you've used one of those logo creation websites. You might find something that's a bit more suitable. But you can just use one of these ready-made icons over here just to help your students distinguish one team from another. Um, so again, in the settings, you also have the option to add extra channels if you wanted to break some of your topics down in these channels just here. If you're in a team that someone else has added you to and you no longer wish to be a part of it, you can just leave that team here. You can get a link to the team if you want to put that somewhere for the students to find easy enough. You can set tags up if you want to. I don't find these very helpful. I tend not to use them much, so you can quite happily just ignore that and just come back and think about it later on. So I'm going to go for this top cog here, manage the team. And the first thing you'll notice is that you can add members. And if we click this button, it just takes us back to the screen we were on when we set this thing up, where we can manually add students and staff to a team. And we'll see those people start to appear down here. If you're an owner, that means you can do whatever you like. If you're a member, there are some restrictions as to what you can do. So teachers are owners and students are members. If we look across the top, you've got pending requests. If anyone's requested to join your team, you can enable them to do so, or you can reject their request or just simply ignore it. If we go into the settings here, the team theme just takes us back to the screen we was on a moment ago, where we can just change the little icon at the top. Member permissions enables members to be able to do things. Now, by default, most of these are turned off. The bottom three are switched on. So if you want to prevent any of the members of your team doing things like deleting messages and things like that, then you can remove those ticks from those boxes. I wouldn't worry too much about guests, because the likelihood is you're not going to have any guests, but you wouldn't want them to be able to do much in there anyway. The team code is useful because in here you get this option to generate a team code, and this is what you would give to your students, and they would then use this to join your team, which means you don't have to manually add them all. In fun stuff, you get the option to switch certain things off and on. So if you don't want your students posting memes and emojis and stickers, then just untick all of these boxes. Okay. Now, the OneNote class notebook, again, you don't really need to worry too much about what's in here, because you tend to do that when you set the class notebook up from this menu over here on the left. Okay. At mentions is where you can use this at sign and then the name of a member or a teacher, so you can have it send them a notification, which will ping up on this bell up here in this top right hand corner. So I tend to use these. They're quite useful if you want to just send a quick message to an individual student in a post. And the way those work is, when you're in the channel and you're on the posts, you just use the at sign and then start typing. You can see you can send a message to everybody in the team just by typing the name of the team, or if you have any members in there, you can begin to type their name. And everybody sees the post. It's just, but they will get a specific ping to them. So it just draws their attention to the fact that you're trying to speak to them individually, or as a group. Okay, so that's basically what's in the settings of your team.